With today's massive zucchini from the garden, I'm going to be making stuffed zucchini with no-mato sauce. I begin by cutting the zucchini in half and scraping out all of its seeds and guts, making sure to put them to the side. We are all about minimal waste around here, so you better believe I'm going to be using that later on in the recipe. This is how they should look when you're done scraping. For the sauce, I usually use sweet potato puree, but since I'm out, today I'm going to be using pumpkin baby food. Next, I season it as I would any other Italian-style sauce, with garlic powder, onion powder, dehydrated onion, oregano, thyme, salt, pepper, and anything else you might like to add to your sauce. I'm also adding a little bit of homemade bone broth to thin out my sauce and make it the consistency that I like. It was at this moment that I realized I forgot to add the jar of baby food. Lastly is a touch of sweetness and a bit of balsamic, which is key to a good sauce. Next, we're going to put the zucchini halves in the oven to start softening while we prep the rest of the ingredients. The sauce is really the star of the dish, so the rest of this is very simplistic. I begin by warming a little bit of oil in a pan and adding in ground beef. I'm only adding a little bit of garlic and a little bit of salt, since my sauce is already well seasoned. Once the fat starts rendering from the beef, I add in the zucchini guts. This is so they can cook in the beef fat and become soft. After cooking for a few minutes and draining, it should look like this. Finally, I add our sauce to our meat mixture to heat it up and incorporate everything together. After a few minutes of cooking, this is what you should have. After about 20 minutes in the oven, our zucchini are now soft enough to stuff. The cheese is optional if you're dairy-free, but we love cheese in my house, so it was a must for us. I top everything off with an extra dash of oregano and garlic powder, just for a little bit of pizzazz before throwing it in the oven. I set the timer for 45 minutes at 350 and flip them halfway through for an even cook. And here's what they look like when they're done. I hope you enjoy.